Hello. Oh gosh. Hello everyone. I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War live stream. So today, of course, we got quite a few things that end up coming out. The main one being the new legend that was just added to the game. It is, of course, in the event key drop table. The event key and drop table in general is actually really good right now. If we go over to Dragon's Claw, which is what this event 4 is this week, we can see that a lot of great options as far as keys, particularly Dragon Soul. You do not want to leave this week without Dragon Soul if you do not own Dragon Soul. But basically every single thing you see here, with the exception of nothing actually. Oh yes, Periton isn't in the event key drop table. But aside from that, every other thing that you see here is obtainable. And some pretty noteworthy ones are Dragotar, really good dragon buff for early game. Dragonian Monk, best early game barrier. Divinia, not used as much these days, but a good mana accumulator into a life gain for any kind of team that might need a life, like Yagwe. Works pretty good for that. Egg Thief, if you still don't have a copy of it, really good for Scouting Key team. Mythic's not that good. The new troop, of course, which is one of the more noteworthy things that happened today. This thing is rather interesting in that it has 75% spell reduction. It's basically the Gorgolfa of spell reduction. Haven't really had the chance to mess around with it yet, so we'll be messing around with that now, of course. That'll be one of the main first things we do. Has an interesting boost ratio, however, you're going to almost guarantee you have to use this with Frost Mage, just because there isn't really any dragons that can freeze at a really consistent rate to the point where you'd want to. Most of them don't have board control or anything that would really make it worth going out of their way to freeze, whereas something like a Frost Mage synergy with it would work out pretty well. But it creates 6 blue, additional 2 per frozen enemy. Also gets to deal damage to the first and last enemies, which is also boosted on blues at the exact same 2x ratio. So yeah, it has a double 2x ratio there. And other than that, of course, most relevant thing, 75% reduction. It's basically a Gorgolfa. Wish I had a cleanse like Gorgolfa though. It does not have any cleanse on cast, so it is going to be pretty bad against stun. However, just don't use it against stun, and hopefully it'll be fine. You mostly use it as a hard counter, obviously, to really high spell-related moves. And other than that, the most relevant thing in this entire kingdom is, oddly enough, Dragon Soul. It's not as good later in the game. However, it is the strongest soul accumulator in the game, and is really good to get your hands on, as you basically just get showered with souls, particularly in early game and mid game. Pretty much anything below level 1000. Dragon Soul is an insanely good pickup, but generally beyond that level, you'd already have it. But prior to that level, it has a really good boost ratio, 3 times per dragon, which counts itself, so it does a minimum 11 damage, and up to about 20 damage, or not about, exactly, 20 damage to all enemies once there are 4 dragons on your team. So it's quite a bit of value. You get 15 souls per cast, which means 3 casts is enough to get it to max mana, to max souls, and you also get some mana accumulation off the explosion into its decent amount of damage. So overall, really, really great troop for its value. And it's one of the few that you generally would go out of your way for to actually craft with diamonds in Soulforge. However, this week you don't have to do that. You can just get it in event keys and be on your way. But yeah, 100% advised. Do not leave this week without Dragon Soul if you currently do not own it, and you can get it through event keys. Event keys you can get through the shop. I think I already bought mine earlier this morning, but you can buy 10 event keys per week for 1,800 glory there. You can get some from your green guild task if your guild hasn't already completed out the smaller guild task. And if you happen to be in a slightly bigger guild, the epic tasks all have a chance of giving you event keys as well, spread out throughout the loop. I forget how far, what specific ones the event keys are on, but there are some amount of event keys scattered throughout the task system there. Anyways, in other news, how have all of you been doing? Let's see. Hello, Army Xtube. Hello, Sippleman. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Bill. Hello, Diner Suit Girl. Hello, Curtis. Hello, Gustavo. Hello, Dotero. Hello, Tyranny. Hello, Not Blizzy. Let's see. First time watching the stream. Glad you can make it. Hello, Scout Tank. Hello, Analyst. You spent 250 event keys today. Got 6 Dragon Souls, 2 Divinia, and only 1 of the new one. Yeah, I ended up getting lucky. I did open 50 earlier, and I ended up getting 2 of it, and then I just used an orb on it to get it maxed. I was considering to use Marquise, but I figured, we got exactly 2. Might as well just go and use a use an event or use a what's it called? Use a blue orb on it. Orb of Ascension was the word I was looking for. But yeah, I just ended up doing that, and we have 2 copies of it. I don't think you would ever need 2 copies, but I figured, hey, if we ever want to build like a really spell-resistant tank kind of build, figured it'd be nice to have 2. However, you could also just do 1 with like a Tina 9000 if you happen to have, or some kind of other similar combo. That's one other noteworthy thing about this troop too. Despite the fact that it's 75% reduction, unlike something like Tina 9000, it does not have any amount of what's it called? It doesn't have any amount of durability gain. So it doesn't have an armor gain. It doesn't have an HP gain, which is a little bit weird. Obviously, Gorgolfa doesn't either. However, you'd kind of think with how Tina 9000 is set up that they would have done like a little something. It's like the two biggest things that seemed kind of weird about the new troop that came in today. There's no durability increase on it, and there's no what's the other one? No durability and no cleanse, which is what they did for Golgotha to make it actually a little bit more viable, just because of how hard countered it got by stun. And now this thing's just going to get hard countered by stun. It almost reminds me of what they did with Vash Dragon compared to Black Beast, where they did like a workaround for Black Beast to give it that cleanse on cast to make sure that it could bypass barrier. And then when another troop that came in that was very similar to that aspect, it didn't end up getting that mechanic. Vash Dragon does not have that cleanse or that dispel when it hits on one of your allies. And it seems like kind of like what they did here, where there should have been a cleanse on it because that's what they did with Golgotha, which is a similar troop, but then they didn't. And it doesn't matter for something like the Stonehammer from Kazale, because even though he has 80% reduction, he is immune to stun attached to him, so it doesn't actually matter. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. Overall, it's probably going to be pretty average. I don't really foresee the Legend really getting out much, unfortunately. Let's see. Have a Glory Troop PvP team this week for the 2 times trait stones. Oh yeah, the Glory Troop this week. I believe it was pretty bad, wasn't it? I don't think you'd want to unless you're just using 3 standard troops to kind of kill things down with, and then just having this all the way in the back. It's not that good. The epic troop that came out today. It deals damage to all enemies and then freezes 1 to 4 random ones with no board control whatsoever. It's okay. For an epic, it's not bad, but it doesn't really have much going for it. Gains a little bit of life, has a little bit of skull reduction. I don't really foresee it really being used in much, mostly because of its luck-based ability of 1 to 4 freezes. That's just way too wide of a range to really be able to use it for much, unfortunately. Cool-looking dragon, though, but I don't foresee it really being viable for much. I know the lack of board control is the main thing that seems to be making this not worth going out of your way for. It does have 20% stats this week, though, as a good majority of dragons do. All of Dragon's Claw and dragons have 10%. So basically almost the entirety of Dragon's Claw Kingdom has 20% additional stats, which might even be a good week to go use Elamagrim for Guild Wars. Elamagrim generally is not ran for Guild Wars in the current meta of the game. However, if you want to bring it out for purple or some other day, maybe not purple because they'll deny purple, but I think red day actually works pretty good on. Hey, maybe we'll run Elamagrim tomorrow, we'll see. Bring out the old Elamagrim team, because I believe the old Elamagrim team could cover pure red. Maybe we'll even mess with that a little bit later this stream, because a lot of you probably haven't seen it, because I haven't used it for ages. But now that Elamagrim has 20% extra stats this week, it might be worth bringing it out, because you should have 20%. Let me double check. Because he's both Dragon's Claw and, there he is. Yeah, he has 20% this week. 44 damage to all enemies. Into a pretty good loop. Actually, let me go build up that team real quick. Let's see, Stormcaller class. Yeah, we don't need this one, right? We're not using that for anything. So let's go build up the really old Elamagrim team. This was from like, what, 2 years ago? Gosh. Let's see, Rock Troll. Let's see if I can even remember it. Wasn't it Dark Troll, I believe? Dark Troll. So it was Rock Troll, Dark Troll, and we need a Furnace. Unfortunately, it runs with no hero. It does run with no hero, which is one of the reasons why this is old meta. But there we go. So it is pure red. It is Rock Troll, Dark Troll, Elamagrim, and Furnace. Gosh, we haven't used this thing in how long? It has been a very, very long time since we've ran this team. And I believe you run it with +2 purple, +1 red. But then again, there's probably a better banner these days. The most ideal would be probably a +2 purple, +1 red, I believe. Or even into brown. Let me double check the 2 colors. So what do you have for this? So yeah, there's that, but you don't want to minus the other color. You can go for that, but you're not really creating much red. It's pretty important to have the +2 purple onto, or I mean the +2 purple. That's the most important aspect. So this was a banner that I don't think existed at the time when this used to be used. A +2 purple, +1 brown. I think that would work. Okay, let's go give this a shot and see what happens. So, and it doesn't matter what hero class we use, because, but just for fun, let's actually use a purple-related one. I believe we still get that little bit of mana surge chance, so might as well. Here, have some sorcerer. Not like it would matter which one we use. Okay, so let's go and mess with this real quick. I want to see. This is such an old team. And then we'll mess with the new legends probably a little bit. But we might run this tomorrow for Guild Wars. I'm considering it. We haven't for ages. And even if it fails, we'll just have fun with it. Because we haven't used this team in like 2 years, it feels like, or something. It's been a very long time. So one of the things that Infernus actually used to be used for a lot, too. One of the reasons why he was better value. Still used for quite a bit. But obviously one of Infernus's biggest aspects towards him is the fact that he has the best burn all enemies in the entire game. The only big issue with this team, like many teams out there, is it is really, really bad against freeze. The one nice thing about the red variant of this is you're mostly looping on purple. So Oh, then again, we are frozen on purple right now, though. But sometimes you can get away with not being frozen on it because of that. Yeah, this team is almost both pure red and pure purple simultaneously. You actually can adapt this team to be pure purple if you wanted to. However, it would be more hard countered on that day just because people are more likely to deny purple on purple day, obviously. As compared to red day, it is a lot less likely for them to counter the color. So if our first slot could just get cleansed, that'd be great so we can actually go and try winning this battle. Until then, though, we'll just have to keep poking until he does cleanse. One way that we could work around this if we really wanted to for Guild Wars is to run Cedric. Cedric's another thing. Or sorry, I forgot. It's called Orpheus now. Orpheus metal is another thing that hasn't existed when this team was particularly meta that it can utilize now. Because one of the other big issues that it has was, of course, freeze completely decimated it. However, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever used this team since the Cedrics came in. I mean, gosh, I keep calling this Cedrics. The Orpheus cleanse metals came in. But basically what you can do now is once you get this team going, you can basically just keep casting over and over again. It's not like an indefinite loop like quite a few teams these days, but it definitely can get a lot of chunk in. It's kind of like almost like a Divinish Ball equivalent team in that it normally loops enough to win, and that's as far as it loops. Like, it doesn't have an infinite loop, but it's normally enough to get things rolling and just kill them out. Another thing that kind of hard countered in the past was, of course, Submerge. Submerge really helped do this troop in, because it doesn't run with Hero, so it can't have Dispel on extra turn. The only version that runs it with Hero, I believe, is if you do it with Purple. If you did it pure Purple rather than pure Red. But, yeah, that's that. Obviously, it's relatively average. It's really bad against Freeze, which is a problem, because there's a lot of Freeze in Guild Wars these days between Frost Mage and everything. But overall, it's not bad. I'm not sure if I'll run it tomorrow for Guild Wars, but maybe we will just for nostalgia's sake, because it's been ages since we ran that for Red Guild War Day. What is our current Red Guild War Day now that I think about it? My current Red Guild War is, oh yeah, Yagwe Queen of Tanya, because Yagwe Queen of Tanya is insane. We're still using Ragnagord, Yagwe Queen of Tanya, and Dawnbringer. Unfortunately, not the meta Yagwe Queen of Tanya team, because you can't do that out of pure red, but still pretty decent. I don't know, maybe we'll try the Elemagrim thing tomorrow. Depends if we're up against Freeze or not. If we are up against 0 freezes, I might consider it. If we are up against Freeze, I'll probably just stick with this, as this can fend with Freeze. It's a little bit better compared to the other team. But anyways, did I miss some chat? I feel like I did. Hello, Tom. Let's see. Any advice on fighting mythic troops that are level 21 with allies that are only epic rarity? One thing to consider is using the hero weapon of Mang. If you've gotten it yet, you get it as you get your brown and red hero mastery up on your hero. It's a really good early game weapon that lasts through the entire game. That basically takes the armor of an enemy and turns it into attack, and then you can use that attack to basically kill up to whatever the durability of the enemy is, because generally most things armor and HP are about the same. So if you're up against something that has like 100 HP armor, well, you can go and tear away all that armor, convert it into 100 attack, and then you're up to the point where you can actually go and kill all of them. So it ends up working out pretty well for killing things that are stronger than you can currently take. There are a few or several weapons out there that are capable of doing that, as well as troops in general. However, Mang is one of the earliest things you get that has the capability of basically killing any battle in the entire game. It's also advised running Titan hero class with it, and making sure you set to barrier every brown once you finally get it to level 40. However, you could do it with any hero class that has barrier on brown at 40. However, Titan just works out the best. Hello, Tom. You finally saved up 3,390 diamonds. We'll get the to 4K diamonds or 4K with dungeons tomorrow. Should you grab any Soulforge Mythic this week? No. I did look at them earlier. Nothing is too insanely good from Soulforge this week. There are a couple things that are like okay to go for, but nothing really high up there. Vashtagan, not worth it. Weaver is used in some rather meta teams, mostly the Orb Weaver team. The biggest issue with this, though, is it's mostly a high expensive defend team for Guild Wars. And while it is a Guild War week, it doesn't really get used for too much else other than some true damage teams and for Guild War defend. So for that reason, I probably wouldn't pick that up. It's not like the highest priority. Arachnean Weaver is still a really good troop. That is still the case. However, I wouldn't really go out of your way if you don't have that many mythics, just because it's definitely above average, but it's not something you would go for as one of your earlier mythics. And other than that, the only other one is Jotnar Storm Shield, and Jotnar Storm Shield is pretty useless. Why he doesn't have 4 times barrier, I do not know. He only barriers a single random ally rather than all 4 of them. If he did all 4, he would actually not be that bad. His ability would still be bad, but at least his trait would be good. Yeah, nothing that's available this week is worth it. Oh, and also I completely skipped over Fallen Valdis. She's one of the worst mythics in the game. I almost didn't even see her there. But she's arguably like the lowest 3 mythics in the game. So yeah, nothing really worth going out of your way for this week. The closest one it is Arachnean Weaver. However, it's not really that needed to get it. However, it is for a Magic Kingdom. I don't know. It would be around your 10th mythic or so. It's used mostly in Orb Weaver team, particularly the team of something in first slot, Orb Weaver hero class with life and death, followed by Arachne Weaver, followed by that one elf that gives 50% mana start. King Averlon, I believe his name is. But that's basically the only team it's really used with, aside from a few true damage teams here or there. Man, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the verdict on that. And as far as Legends, Quillen's the only one. However, I would not go out of your way for it unless you want to build a Divinish Ball of Quillen team this week. And as far as weapons, nothing is good. However, you can get some things for collection purposes. Mace of Claws, Volcanic Shield, and Explosion. And if you were to go for 1 to 3, you'd probably go for, I'm pretty sure Mace of Claws, just because it has Dragon boost ratio. And of course, dragons, there's quite a few dragons in the game. They kind of fell off as Submerge came into the game, though, about a year and a half ago or whenever that was. It's one of the reasons why Elma Grim fell off, too. But a lot of dragons do full AoE damage, and they don't have half mana start. If we were to ever get a dragon that has half mana start, as well as some that actually have like single target rather than full AoE, probably a little bit better. However, at this current moment in time, they are rather weak, actually, in the current state of the game. There's still some combinations of them that work, but it's probably the weakest they've ever been, actually, dragon-related builds. They've been great for ages upon ages, but the current meta, they're generally not that good. But if we ever get a half mana to start dragon, it's going to instantly become really viable. So if you were to get any weapon this week, it'd probably be the Mace of Claws. And of course, we'll have a weapon tomorrow, too. However, it's a rather useless one from Lazarus's Lair, which will only be available tomorrow, and then it won't be available for months. But it's not one of the better faction weapons, so you kind of can just ignore it if you don't want it. But anyways, let's go into some battles already. Or some more battles, I should say. So now we're up against a really annoying Zugoff team. How unfortunate. Let's actually go make a Mistralis build. However, Mistralis will not help us against what we're fighting right now, so let me go find a different battle. Let me just go clear this real quick with like Rowan and go find ourselves a new battle here rather than wasting a gem to repick. But let's just clear this out. Go from there. Does Bunny Nog replace all gnomes that appear? No. The way that Battle Crashers work is the one that has priority is the gnome, not the Battle Crasher. So if you simultaneously get both a Battle Crasher and a gnome, you will instead get the gnome, not the Battle Crasher. And this is going to be really applicable for this weekend because both will be happening during the Vault weekend this weekend. So you'll be able to go and get a lot more loot than you normally would. However, while it's occurring, the gnome will always overwrite the Battle Crasher. You'll never get both in the same battle, and the gnome will always have priority. So if you ever get both, you'll just get the gnome instead, which of course is the better value one. What's the best way to get glory? The best way to get glory is to farm Vault events. Vault events occur about once every month, and luckily for you, it is this weekend, this month. So Easter weekend, from Friday reset all the way until Monday reset, so those 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you'll be able to find an increased rate of gnomes in every single battle, or I shouldn't say every single battle, but the main locations you would farm it is one trophy one trophy PvP, or doing Explorer at like difficulty 2 and 3, and then just quick kill it, and you'll get a bunch of gnomes that way. But doing gnome vault event is the best rate of glory in the game. You can get thousands per hour, whereas the normal rate otherwise is probably only about 1,000, if even that. And if you farm the entirety of a gnome event, you can actually get more glory within a single gnome event weekend than you do throughout the rest of the month. That is how much glory you can end up farming during that time, among other resources too. It's not like you're just getting glory. A lot of good gem-related resources, as well as physical gems, keys, other various good stuff this weekend. But yeah, definitely if you have some free time from social distancing, worth considering this Easter, since most people are probably staying home and not really doing too much since the virus and everything. Let's see. Did I miss any other questions? Let me know. I'm just looking through. I already answered that. But if I missed anything, do let me know. Just post it again. I'll get to it. Infernus or Ketchers for PvP, Ferris Raw for soul farming, and Scorpius for Explorer, or Iron Gut for Delve. What do you want to do? Then get the Mythic for it. Yeah, that's pretty much what you would go for as far as earlier picks. Ketchers actually probably even higher on the list these days. Ketchers has a lot of synergy. It has half mana start potential off a hero class, which works out pretty well. It has upscaling capability, which is becoming increasingly more important in this game. However, it does need Yasmin's Pride to upscale properly, which a lot of people don't have. There are a few other alternatives, however, Yasmin's Pride works the best. But the only problem with that is a lot of people don't have Yasmin's Pride. I believe it only comes out during Pan's Veil event, and we probably won't be having one for several months, since Kingdoms only really rotate about twice per year. So it could be a little while before we see it again. Let's see. What else I missed? Just want to catch up. Then we'll go do some teams. Hello, Original. Welcome. I know, Pullfall and Valdis. She really needs a buff. There's a lot of things that need a buff or rebalance in the game. She's definitely one of them. She's been useless. She was added to counter divines, and even at the time she was added to counter divines when divines were being used as almost every single battle, she wasn't even viable then. And now she's really not viable because while divines are still good, it's not as meta as it was when Fallen Valdis was added to the game, which I don't know. I just find that really strange. Like, she couldn't even hard counter when they were meta and when they were being used everywhere, which was her whole purpose. And then they didn't even bother buffing her to make her capable of doing so. And now that divines are barely used, or at least used a lot less compared to then, like about a year ago, yeah, now it just doesn't work. It's kind of weird. Let's see. Yeah, I would advise skipping this current rotation of Soulforge for the most part. Nothing too enticing off it at this current moment in time, unless you already had several of the mythics. Because the only thing you're really going to use Weaver for defend and for some true damage teams, which isn't much. Is the Mythic Troop Suna worth it to use in a Fae team? It's okay. I used it mostly as an alternative to Queen of Tanya. However, oddly enough, Queen of Tanya is actually better than it. Like, if you were to do a Yagwe Queen of Tanya team, it can be used as an alternative to Queen of Tanya. Even in this team that we're using right here, it could be used as an alternative to Queen of Tanya. Oddly enough, Queen of Tanya is actually better than it, even though it's lower rarity. But that's why I used it for on my Nintendo Switch account. We actually didn't have Queen of Tanya, but we actually had Suna, oddly enough. So we basically used Suna as our Queen of Tanya, which is what we end up doing with that. Well, throw that down. Ideally, we'd have 13 plus red here. Unfortunately, we do not, so let's go throw Dawnbringer. And this is also my red Guild War team I'll likely be using for tomorrow, by the way, as we normally do. It's really strong. It is hard countered by freeze, though, which is pretty common. But as you can see here, it ends up working out pretty well. Can win pretty quick when it actually wants to function correctly. A little bit of liability since you don't really have much score reduction. And by not much score reduction, I mean none at all. But there we go. Also, don't forget, one other thing, too. This is the first Guild Wars that's going to have seasons as a capability. So before the night ends, you might want to set your medals to seasons. And make sure you have it set for tomorrow. I'll probably have specifically this set up for tomorrow. Where we'll run with 20% mana start and 2 seasons. And we can end up doing it. Question. You're new to the game, level 580. What mythic should you go for? You have none, like focusing on events and delves too. So what mythic should you go for as your very first mythic? There are a few that you could consider. The main ones I would consider are things like, let's see, probably Infernus, Ketris the Bull. Basically, what you want to look for is a really good damage source. But it's either going to be Infernus, Ketris the Bull, or trying to think of a third one. That would actually be really good as first mythic, or really close to first mythic. Those are the main two that always come to mind, though. Infernus has a 4x burn, which is exceptionally powerful in early game, as well as a bunch of explosions, mana accumulation, and a storm into himself. He doesn't work as good for doing higher level content, but he's really good at doing like PvP, Guild Wars, stuff like that. Plus, of course, he's a mythic, so he can cover 3 different Guild War days. Ketris the Bull is pretty potent. However, it does require you to use a specific hero class with it, Shaman hero class. It also will require you, in some situations, to buff it up with something else. And you might not have the option to do so. I think the best thing you could do it with, if you have none of the old event weapons, which is likely, is using Urskia Shield, which you get from 250 wins off a Sentinel hero class, and try doing that to boost it up its stats. It's not the most ideal way to boost its stats, however, it would give it barrier so it doesn't try losing any HP or armor, and since it boost ratios off of all 3 of its stats, or technically all 4, HP, armor, attack, and even magic, because the magic still raises his ability, it is beneficial to have it barriered. But yeah, like something like an Urskia Shield, Apothecary, Ketris with one other option would be pretty good for early game. Has pretty much everything you would need. You have Cleanse, you have Board Control, you have mana accumulation, you have a way to upscale. It covers a lot of ground. But yeah, and Ketris the Bull is increasingly becoming like one of the earlier ones that I would say to get. Aside from that, as Army X2 mentions, Iron Gut, Wild Queen are also pretty good. Iron Gut's a little bit, I wouldn't really advise as a very, very first mythic, because you would only get up Iron Gut if you want to finally go win delves. That's when you generally bring that out for. Wild Queen can be good, however, Wild Queen does not have extremely high consistency. You do, of course, can dominate pretty well with it during Guild Wars, but given that's a Guild War week right now, it's still going to be a while before we rotate again in another month, not to mention who knows when Wild Queen's actually going to be in drop table again. But I don't know, I would say overall, as far as absolute first mythic, I think Ketris in the current state of game might be your overall best bet, because it can do anything you want. It can upscale for any game mode. So you can do it for pet battles, you can do it for dungeons, you can do it for raids, you can do it for any event where it's applicable. You can use it in PvP. You can use it in Guild Wars. You can use it for even Explore. Like, there's almost no place where you cannot use Catches the Bowl. Whereas quite a few other ones, like Iron Gut, is specific to Delves. Wild Queen is more specific to PvP and Guild Wars. Infernus, a little bit all around, but it can't upscale. And Tina is best spell reduction still in game, even though we got a 75% today. However, it doesn't have any board control, which is probably the biggest thing that holds it back. Then again, Ketris doesn't either, but he has so much damage that it doesn't really matter. Because unlike Tina, that can normally get 1 kill per cast, Ketris can actually get a triple kill, depending on how it sets up and how much stats you have compared to the enemy. However, generally he also does a single kill. However, he does a single kill into a double kill, whereas Tina can't as consistently do the same, even though it sometimes does. Man, anyways, let me get into teams. Let's see what we're doing right now. We're going to go and build a team for the new legend. I actually haven't messed with it yet. I feel like it's not going to be useful compared to Tina, personally, the new legends that just came out, but we'll still mess with it. This one is the spot I was going to put it in. And of course, we'll have the video going over it very soon, either tomorrow morning or tonight is the game plan for that. Sorry that I couldn't get it done today. Actually, one thing I needed to go do today, which was kind of unexpected, is I had to go and get a bunch of food. The area that I'm in right now might end up being quarantined for like a week or two, just to make sure that people aren't out. And I normally keep getting food like almost every single week or so, just to make sure, like every single week or two, in order to make sure that we're still stocked up. So just need to make sure to restock just in case we are like stuck in our house for like 2 weeks, which might be very likely in the very, very near future. Because mine area didn't really have like a mandatory don't go out thing, but they might be implementing one very soon, so I had to stock up on food. Anyways, where was the other thing I needed? We need the Matron. Wait, did I put that right? Matron? Yeah, Matron. That sounds like it should be a robot. Let's see. I know, Cinny, you've probably been quarantined for like a month now, haven't you? In your area in Australia. Yeah, we've still been allowed to go out in my area. Though that might not be the case very soon. Let's see. What am I looking for? I'm looking for things that can synergize with this. So we need a freeze. I'm leaning down the Frost Mage route. However, I'm not sure what weapon I want, but I'm almost leaning towards Mountain Crusher just because of the overlap on it. So we'll go for that. Now I almost want to go Leprechaun as well. But no, what do we still need? We still need a lot. We got our mana accumulation and our tankiness. However, we don't gain Barrier every Brown, but let's see. Oh, why do I not have the final perk? I might have copied someone else's team. But let's go get that elemental. Unfortunately, this other thing does not count as an elemental. So we won't be able to use it for that. We can get some mana there, but the explosion is better. We can get some submerge. We have mana for the 50% start, which we would want for sure. The 20% spell reduction, which synergizes pretty well with the fact that we also have spell reduction there. And good. And a little snap freeze to get them frozen at the start of battle. Okay, other than that, we're going to need ourselves some better damage because she's not going to be enough damage on her own. Is there another freeze option that is not useless that would fit this coloration? There actually is. However, it wasn't the way I was planning on going. But there is one somewhat okay freezing dragon. And it is Borealis. However you spell Borealis. I have no clue. There it is, Borealis. But Borealis is not as good as Web Spinner by any means. However, it does have an interesting interaction in that unlike Web Spinner, where it has no reduction to skulls, Queen Mab's actually relatively useless in the current state of the game. If you want to use Queen Mab, you should be using Frostfire Mage, or whatever that thing is called. The new Frostfire thing that came out a couple months ago, I believe it came out in December or January, is actually better than Queen Mab now in almost every situation. Because not only does it freeze on extra turn, but also burns, plus its ability can't be hard countered by mana burn immunity. Even though it generally doesn't end up doing as much damage. Oh gosh, a $1,652 fine for going out in your area. That is a lot. Yeah, I think we might do Borealis. It has an interesting combination of 65% score reduction and your triple damage. Unfortunately, it doesn't get to freeze on skulls, so unlike Web Spinner that it's triple damage every single time, you actually need to go and get a freeze first. However, I think this could work. Normally, you would use Keeper of Souls or something, though, instead of this thing. But we could use this to feed blue, and then let's go for one other option. Is there a good Mythic that uses blue? Let's see. A good Mythic that has freeze that uses blue? Probably not. Red and green. I highly doubt that exists. No, it does not. We got some true damage and some useless blue counter. So that would not work then. So next thing, blue-red. We can use Frostfire Mage. Let me go use the Frostfire thing I was just talking about. Let's go all-in freeze. We started going into freeze. Let's just go all-in freeze. So this was the thing I was talking about earlier that's better than Queen Mab these days. I don't use it that often, though, but it's the Frostfire King. He deals splash damage to 2 random enemies, then burns the first group, and then freezes the second group. Also, which means he can bypass mana burn immunity, unlike Queen Mab. It can also bypass Submerge, unlike Queen Mab, because it can be countered by 2 things, mana burn immunity and Submerge. Both counter mana burn to full AoE. Other than that, it has a bunch of immunities. And it also has the better option for its final trait. It both freezes and burns an enemy on an extra turn, rather than just freezing them. So we'll go with this. It's basically the better Queen Map, and has been since it came out a couple months ago, even though I haven't been using it much. But anyways, we'll go and go for that. Get rid of green. And, I don't know, it just, compared to Frost Mage, most other things just don't seem needed in comparison to it. But we'll go for that. And now we'll go for a good minus green banner that'll fill it up. So we'd probably want to go for something that has a little bit of brown. However, I don't want to go into double yellow. So unfortunately, we might not be able to go for any additional brown. So our next best bet might be a +2 blue, +1 red, I think is our next bet. Since we can get Borealis up with it, we can also end up getting our little bit of red into Frostfarer King, if we want to get some of his ability down. However, he does not have extra turn capabilities, unfortunately. Well, then again, nothing on his team does other than Matron. But I definitely want that extra blue. Is there not a +2 blue into +1 to her? Unfortunately, there's not. That'd be the most useful. A +2 blue into a +1 purple or a +1 brown. But neither of those banners exist, so we'll just go with this, I guess. So we'll go with this. Borealis, Mountain Crusher, Martin, and Frostfarer King. And obviously with Frost Mage. However, we could also do it with Dragonclaw Hero class, I guess. But Frost Mage would be a bit better, just to make sure we have the freeze. And here we are against a extremely high extra turn team. However, there is a really hard counter to that if you're ever struggling against that team right there. It's actually one of the ones I've been meaning to show in the 2019 video, actually. The Infinite Loop one. I believe I have... no, not that one. The other Infinite Loop one. Let's see. This. It's using it slightly differently, but it's the same premise of team. It's a extra turn spam Goblin team. They've become viable ever since this weapon came out. Like that one event week, like a couple months ago, ended up becoming viable. Anyways, what are we doing? Let's go. I still didn't record that video. I really need to. On the list of things we need to do. But anyways, let's go and do this. All the nostalgic teams from 2019 that became viable or became because of new things that came into the game. But anyways, we'll go for that. Get a Mountain Crusher. Let me take that first to get our freeze and everything going. Get a Mountain Crusher and hopefully land our mana. Unfortunately, it does not go all the way to full, but we can just drag it down right over there. We then have Borealis, which we could go do for mana accumulation. He'll go poke us. Let's see. We'll go for another mountain over there, just because I'm waiting a turn before we go and Borealis him down. And now we can go and do this combo. So we go freeze. We can now get a triple freeze. One of them has immune. We then can get a really high amount off of that. And there we go. Unfortunately, we were frozen on blue, which I didn't notice. So we do lose our turn there. Let's see. What do we need? Let's grab... brown would be the most ideal, so I guess we'll grab some brown over there. We can then follow up with like a mountain or something. And it'll be good to go. I don't think we have a drop over there, so let's go throw it right over there. Get our manas going. Of course, he would get a summon there. I think we actually let him skull us just because we have 65% reduction. And that way the next skull we do will end up being able to kill. Unfortunately, he has Cedric metal actually set right now, which is why he got cleansed. I was wondering why we have so few freezes. But he does have Cedric set right now, which will allow him to keep cleansing off everything, which is very unfortunate, especially now that we missed that extra turn. But overall, I don't really foresee this new Legends being used for much. Compared to Tina, compared to Hero class with some spell reduction, while it's a really high spell reduction, it's probably going to have a Stonehammer issue, in that it's just not worth using it for its ability, even though it has a really good reduction of something. But, I don't know, it's just going to seem like it's going to be too inconsistent to use in most situations. This new Legend that came out. Still worth considering getting, as a 75% reduction is situationally very useful. Also, can we stop getting infinite revives? Gosh, he just got like 2 or 3 revives off a first slot. What madness. Let's try it again, though. Against something that will be less annoying. But overall, it does not seem that worth it, using the new Legend. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Blue Storm off of Jar of Eyes. It also covers green, and then we could revamp it some. I always consider Mountain Crusher just because of the extra mana that we'd end up getting from it, but I keep forgetting that both of them have Storm. You are right. Jar of Eyes actually would end up working out a bit better here. You are correct. Also, can we find teams that don't have immune to freeze? Every single time. Some freeze immune. Okay, so we got a triple freeze, so that'll be fine. Luckily, we land the extra turn. He's going to infinitely revive again. as is to be expected. We'll grab that. We'll get a Borealis and try hitting a skull here. I don't think we have a drop there. Actually, yes we do. So we'll go grab the drop. We then kill him with triple damage. Oh gosh, that's not even enough to kill. We'll go for this just to distribute some damage. We can get them refrozen. However, he already is currently frozen. So we'll go for the other poke over there. Freeze them again. Let's see what else. We'll take the brown over. Grab herself a green over there. Take the brown over again. He's not frozen, so it's not going to get that many blues, but we'll still go for it just because it pokes him. So that will need to hit some once. Right? Wait, did I hit once or twice? Yeah, it only hit once. Even though it hits first and last enemy, it does only hit once. So now we know how that interaction is. Just wanted to double check. Didn't actually check that yet. But yeah, if there's only one enemy left, she only hits once rather than double tap. Which is unfortunate. But yeah, let's try it with Jar of Eyes. Then we can also change up banner if we do that. Do something a little bit better. Let's see. Banner, or not banner. I want Jar of Eyes, or weapon. Jar of Eyes, please. There we go. That also allows us to have resummon in case our first slot dies. And that also allows us to cover every color except for yellow off our back. But it does allow our team to cover every single color. So with that being said, we can now change our banner to like a minus yellow into hopefully the right banner. Where's my banners? So we'll go into banner, clear out that, go for minus yellow. And hopefully we have a banner here. That would be useful. I believe the main one we'd want to go for is +2 blue, +1 brown, or something similar. Perfect. Exactly that. I think will be the best way to go. Actually, technically +2 blue, +1 purple would be better. But it doesn't exist under that minus, so we'll just go for this. We should be good against a Toloka team. Let's see. You predict I will wear a red shirt tomorrow? I would sure hope so. I normally wear the color of the day, assuming it doesn't green screen. I still have yet to find some other colors that don't green screen on my green screen. Even something like yellow and stuff green screens, just because of how my green screen is set up. Even brown, because I can't find a correct brown. That will not green screen for whatever reason. Kind of strange. We'll throw that down. Mostly because my green screen thing has a little bit of like a yellowish tint. And brown, oddly enough, has a little bit of yellow in it. Which makes it partially green screen. Let's see. What do we even want here? We probably go for this and hope that's enough freeze to get an extra turn, and it is. The only real big issue with this is normally in a kind of team like this, instead of a brown-purple being her, you would normally use a brown-purple that has, what's it called? You would normally use a brown-purple that has skull spam. Like, for example, Keeper of Souls or Glaceon or something like that. Which technically, I guess you could use Glaceon, but then it wouldn't be a team related to her. It'd be a Glaceon team who has 65% score reduction. But yeah, normally you wouldn't really use a troop like this in this kind of team. Alright, we have triple freeze. Let me just go for it. So we'll go for that. Should be able to land extra turn off of it. We can go for Jar of Eyes again. Actually, we could have already won off of that ability, I think. That would have been a lot of damage. Well, let's take that for now. Throw this down. And that should almost kill. 12 HP. And then we can kill it out with a little bit of frost. And now it's dead. Yeah, with how I have it set up, it'll be a little bit annoying switching out my screen. It is possible with how I have my screen set up to switch out my screen. However, it would take a little bit of work to get it undone and then get the other one back on. And it wouldn't be a quick process to switch it out. Like, it would almost take like 10 minutes to make sure I don't like actually rip anything. Because I have to take it all the way out from the ceiling. Might even need a ladder for it to actually pull it out correctly and put it back in. Then it would need to go and switch out the fabric and make sure that doesn't tear it while doing it. And then store it back away. And then rinse and repeat every single time. Like, it can be exchanged out, just not easily. One thing I could do, though, is set up another screen behind me, exactly how I have the current screen set up. And have, like, a red screen or blue screen behind me. Maybe even, like, a red screen, because I believe that helps with all the opposite colors. I have, like, a red screen behind me. Have two of them set up. Have one of them dragged to one side of my room and the others to the other side. And then bring one out when I need it. And then bring the other one out. That would actually be a lot quicker. Never mind. There actually is a quick way to do that. I would have to go get another setup, but I believe I still have the hooks. So it probably only costs like 15, 20 bucks to set that up. I'll probably do it eventually. It's a little bit hard to try to find a red bed sheet or something similar to that would work, though, while we're in almost quarantine soon, since I can't really just be going around to a bunch of places. And, like, the grocery store I went to was in walking distance, so there's not really a place I could look for that. But after coronavirus a bit, we'll probably find a red screen and do that, actually. That would kind of work, because then we'd be able to do almost every color off of that combination of screens. Anyways, so yeah, this Legend's pretty underwhelming. We kind of already knew that going into this. Tina 9000 is still a better spell reduction, even though it's less. Mostly because it has armor gain, which basically makes it more, even though it's less. And overall, just doesn't seem like a troop that's going to be really used too much. Has too high of a liability of basically taking up 2 spots. One of itself for the spell reduction, and another one needing to freeze. So you're having to use 2 troops just to make her work. And that's just too much liability, just for a little bit of spell reduction. Anyways, yeah, new Legends, rather average. I'll still show the team for the video. But I don't really feel like she's going to be worth it. So those are all the video teams for the video then. This is what we'll run for Thursday event. It's just a Dragon Soul loop team basically. Just keep spamming Dragon Soul for souls while doing that. Lazarus or Lair Pure Faction is tomorrow. For that, we'll just be running double Dementor into Chaos Hound into Lazara. It's the same thing I ran to do Pure Faction with. Well, I won't be running it, but if you want to run it, that's what you can run for it. A low level team that can be used is Triple Finesse into Essence of Evil. This is pretty cheap to build. This is a common troop that you can get from your guild. And this is Essence of Evil, which you get for 250 wins off a Plague Lord hero class from Darkstone. And yeah, super easy build to end up making. And other than that, for the higher level build, I went with no mythics though, a Mang team. Just a Divinish Ball of Cool and Mang team. That's what I end up showing for that. We might end up doing something slightly different for it, just because if we're only doing the really low battles, we might want to use something else. However, yeah, this would go all the way, and doesn't use any mythics. So that's almost a lower team as well, kind of like a mid-range team. Didn't really show a high-level team, just because I don't think you really need it for this faction. But if you did, you'd probably go some kind of Zugoff build. If I'm not mistaken, it's yellow-purple restriction. Yeah, it is, definitely is, because of that banner. And because it's yellow-purple restriction, you are allowed to use Zugoff builds, as well as Iron Gut builds. You can even, I believe, almost use the meta, can't you? Yeah, you could. You could use something like Mountain Crusher. If you really want to spell the expensive team, you are allowed to use Mountain Crusher, Iron Gut, Zugoff into the Possessed King. That combination is legal for tomorrow for the faction event. I'm not sure if you'd want to run that because it's really expensive and a lot of people don't have it. But you can run that all the way to 500. You would only want to use on the higher level range though. Anyways, there's one other thing I actually need to go do. We have a kill blue objective. We should probably go focus on that and kill some blues. Where'd be the best place to go kill blue? Stormheim I know has a decent amount of blue. Is there a better place than Stormheim? Probably Merlantis, but they have Submerge. Yeah, I think Stormheim's our best bet. Because I'm just concerned with Submerge and Merlantis, as there's a lot of things that Merlantis has it. Even though I believe it does have more blues. Oh yeah, Blackhawk was pretty good for it too. Actually, Blackhawk might work best. Let me go spam a little bit of Blackhawk, because we need to go get a bunch of blue kills right now. Before the end of today. Of course, as I click on this, we only have one single blue battle to go and face. And let me make sure I switch to armor as well. Let's see, where's my armor build? There we go, pure armor for a win. And should be good to go. Let's go rack up some blue kills. Well, it's a good way to grind for Essence of Evil. Quick kill, low level explore. It's also the way that you grind for Gnome events. It's also how you grind for hero classes in general. Basically exactly what we're doing right now. Because it can win in about 15 seconds to 20 seconds per cycle. Also, if anyone still has any questions or anything I missed, make sure to leave it in chat. Also, we'll hand out a redeem code in, Actually, when will we hand out a redeem code? Actually, I didn't do my dailies yet, did I? Let me go do that. As soon as we finish out our dailies, we'll go hand out a redeem code. Clear out our 3 adventure board and clear out our 3 dungeons. Then we'll hand out a code. And then the rest of the time, we'll probably be grinding blues until Salty does her stream. Wait, is Salty still doing her stream or did she cancel? Because I know she's doing it from home and everything now. But, yeah, she's still doing her stream? I think she is. I'm not sure what she's going over. We're not getting any new content tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, on Friday. At least not this Friday. We're getting Vault event, but no new content. Unless they have something surprise for Easter. And the gnomes are hiding from us today. Well, this weekend they will stop hiding. You ran into an Emerald tier Mistralis team in PvP. Was interesting. I forgot what that weapon even does. Emerald tier? Isn't Emerald tier the one based on enchant? Oh yeah, duh. Yeah, that would be why. Yeah, it's I thought you were referring to the other troop for a second, the Legend. But yeah, Mistralis is still available, by the way. She's available till the end of Thursday, so Friday reset. But yeah, that weapon has a boost ratio based on enchant. I remember now. I believe it creates green based on enchant or something. It creates something based on enchant. But it has a really massive boost ratio off of 4 times enchant. A really broken one, too. I think it's like a 14 or 16 gem spawn or something. If you have your entire team enchanted. It's pretty nice. What team am I currently using? Or are we referring to something else? The current one I'm using is any weapon in its first slot that doesn't block Rowan. Followed by Rowan, followed by Leprechaun, followed by Mirage Queen. Rowan you get for free from Forest of Thorns. Leprechaun's random drop off Glory Keys and Gem Keys. But it's only ultra rare, so it's pretty easy to get. Though it could take a couple weeks to months, depending on bad luck. And Mirage Queen is in Sunken Fleet. If you throw Chaos Shards at the portal there, you'd likely get it within 200 or a few hundred more than that. But you end up getting Mirage Queen that way. So you can focus it down almost like an event key does. Except through the portal from the Underworld in Sunken Fleet specifically. But yeah, the team's relatively cheap to build. It doesn't matter what your first slot weapon is. I'm using a full AoE one that you get from Dervish Hero class if I'm not mistaken. However, you can use anything there that doesn't block Rowan, and it'll be fine. Something to poke them with in case they live. Normally, once you find an Explorer level where you know you can kill them out in every single shot, you don't really need to worry about that. So it ends up working out pretty nicely. Also, hello Liz! Welcome! Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been going well. Okay, there we go. Let's go clear our 3 dungeons, and then we'll hand out a redeem code for some free in-game resources. And then the rest of the time, we'll probably try racking up some blue kill count. Because we need to go and do that. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to stick with Rowan. Just use Rowan the whole time. You got this, Rowan. Once we have more stats, we'll probably be able to do that without even switching. Because Rowan just increasingly gets stronger over time. Which is nice. Do we have any kind of drops here? No, let's take that for now. Let him do whatever. Throw Skull over. That makes Rowan more likely to kill. And that should be enough to kill, actually. And it is. Nice. If we can keep doing that, like an explosion into a skull or 2 into follow-up, it should be fine. Ended up working out quite nicely. Okay, so right here we'll go for our explosion again. And then just rolling it down dead. And then we do this one. Luckily there's a lot of blues in these battles, as is a blue day for these little blue jewels. Which is quite convenient given I have to kill a bunch of blues right now. Do we have a drop for that? No, we do not. So let's grab that over, get a Rowan down, and be good to go. Oh, I forgot. We're using Rowan, so we do need a double hit. Luckily, there's the double hit already. And unfortunately, I got an extra turn there, but as long as it doesn't hit our Rowan, we should be fine. As long as it doesn't barrier or hit our Rowan. And it does neither. And we won. There we go. Anyways, as I said, let me go hand out a code. And then we'll go and rack up some more blue kills, because gosh, do we need a lot more blue today. I need to go get 125 more blue. And we got 35 more minutes to go do it in. So hopefully we can reach it in time. Let's see, what am I looking for? Also, everyone feel free to leave a like on the stream. Definitely helps out a lot if you enjoy. Let me go get the code. Let me just double check that this is the next code. Give me a moment. Also, that reminds me, I need to go ask Salty for more codes. I forgot, we're really low and I forgot to ask her. Slipped my mind to do so today. But I definitely need to go do so. Because we are not even going to have enough to last till Easter, is how many codes we have left. So hopefully Salty will get us more codes. I'll probably remind her tonight in a little bit. And make a post to run for him. Let's see. There we go. There's the redeem code. Chad, what was your shout out? Sorry, I didn't see it. Oh, you mean in global? Thank you for that, if so. But anyways, there's the code used on gemsofwar.com with the game code section. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu, whatever your game says in the bottom left right over here. Redeem code's right over there in chat. So copy paste the MV and all these other random numbers and letters as your redeem code. And it gives the same loot as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Enjoy, everyone. There you guys go. Okay, so next order of business. Let's go kill a bunch of blues. We got to go kill 123 more blue. So let's go over to, yeah, we'll stick with Blackhawk. How many blues does Blackhawk even have? Enough? I feel like we're only getting like 1 or 2 per battle. Let's go try Stormheim. Trying to find one that has a lot. I know Kedar has a decent amount too, but it's heavier on purple than it is on blue. Let's see. Again, only 1. What Explorer difficulty are we even on right now? Explorer 2. I guess that works. How have I been? I've been doing pretty good, Dawn. Thank you for asking. I've been doing pretty good. Yeah, things have been actually pretty normal for me lately. Like, slightly different, but overall, haven't seen much change in my daily routine for the most part. Mostly because I almost live my life as if I'm quarantined. And now everyone has to. So I'm just already used to it, so it doesn't even really faze me much. What do I even take here? We need explosion. Yeah, I've actually had at-home jobs since college, actually. I've been self-employed since 19, but I've actually only been had like at-home jobs since after college, because I still had a flea marketing job, or you know, that's not really a job, but you know, you make decent money off it. Actually, it was probably the most profitable thing I've ever done so far, was flea marketing. But half the work's at home, and then the other half is, you know, you actually selling the product. But there's a lot of work that goes into it that isn't related to actually selling at a flea market. Especially with what I was doing, because I used to sell a lot of things, basically anything I could resell for profit. But one of the bigger things I was doing was various random toys, but also specifically Legos. And the biggest thing with Legos is it requires a lot of assembly, like, you know, just on your own before you even go to the flea market. Even at the flea market, you're normally still assembling stuff because you don't really have much else stuff to do if there's no one, you know, currently buying from you at a given time. There's normally some downtime where you can, like, eat, go to the bathroom, you know, no one really at your table. And you can go and, you know, assemble stuff and basically still work as you're working while waiting to actually sell stuff. But yeah, every single job I've had after college, because obviously I don't do flea marketing anymore, has been actually at home. Like, they've all been at-home jobs that can be done without ever having face-to-face contact with anyone, which is pretty good around these time, given circumstances. I gave you a cold. I have been having seasonal allergies. It's not coronavirus, though, luckily. But I was getting some seasonal allergies there. It kind of cleared up because the pollen kind of came and went. It's still around, but not as bad as it was like about a week or two ago. Which is why I was like coughing, sniffling, and so much earlier. It's not coronavirus, luckily. Obviously. Just really bad seasonal allergies, as I always have. Tacet played Legos professionally. No, I didn't do like any kind of extreme builds. Like, almost everything I would ever make was just off of, like, you know, small little guide things. Also, a lot of what I actually sold were like little figures, which were just really basic to assemble compared to like actual sets. I didn't really work with many sets just because they're generally not worth the time for resale. Mostly because you don't know if you're missing any pieces when you're getting something, if you're just getting a bunch of parts. And that is excessively annoying if you are. Just due to going through the process of ordering more. It's almost better just to resell like all the parts, or to sell it as a set and say, hey, I don't know if all the pieces are here, but here's the set. You can see what's there. If you want it, take it for this price or not. But it's normally not worth trying to assemble whole sets, mostly because they're hard to sell at flea markets, just because it's harder to actually get their value. And it's easy to get scammed if trying to sell them online on like eBay or something. And you also don't necessarily know if all the parts are there, which is also the biggest issue. Because that can also be an issue in that you like send it to someone, you think you have all the parts there, and they're like, oh, you don't. Or they'll like literally scam you, take the more expensive parts, and be like, oh, there's not all the parts here, even though there is. And I don't know, it's just not worth the effort working with sets. Most of what I worked with was like small figures of various characters, and those tend to sell better more too, because it's a lot easier to sell a character that people recognize than it is to sell like a whole set of just something generic, like a whole like little Lego set thing. But yeah, it ends up working out really well just doing figures, which is what I primarily did when I would say I do Legos or did Legos. Doesn't mean I didn't do sets, it was just very, very rare. What do we grab here? We got explosion there. Let's see, we'll just do that. But yeah, I didn't do like actual conventions or anything like that with it. I just did like locally. I wasn't that into Legos, though it was fun because I never really had that many Legos when I was a kid. So it basically gave me a way to play with Legos. It was funny. They have probably made thousands upon thousands selling Legos. I don't know offhand the exact amount, because you'd have to take away the amount that you've actually spent on them from your gross. But It's definitely multiple thousands. I've actually probably sold over 10,000 worth of Lego. Obviously not profit of over 10,000 worth, but as far as actual value exchange. What do we grab here? We'll take that. And that was all in a few years as well. And that was obviously not the only thing I sold at the time, but it was one of the main things I sold. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of miss flea marketing a little bit. I kind of do and don't. Because I feel like you almost have to scam every single person to make money. Because you're deliberately buying for lower and selling for higher in every single circumstance. And it kind of makes me feel bad doing it in instances. But, I don't know. It was good money, though. But it did make me feel bad. Because, I don't know, like, literally, there were times where I'd go in a flea market. You just buy all the things you know are valuable in the morning. And then sell it yourself, literally the same day, for like 2 times or 3 times more. Because you know what its actual value is, whereas the person who's selling doesn't. And that kind of makes me feel bad. It's one of the bad things about flea marketing. But that's how you make money when you're doing stuff like that. Like sales and flea marketing. I would never really want to get in it like super a lot again. It's fun like just chilling at a flea market though. Like the flea market vibe is like really, really fun. Just like casually just like selling some stuff. Chatting with people. Chatting with the people selling next to you. Selling a bunch of things to customers. And I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's an interesting experience if you've never done it. But I used to do that almost every single weekend while in college. There's barely any weekends I didn't do it. Normally when I had to study more. I felt bad all the way to the bank. Wait, Blackhawk has 10 of 12 blues? 12 blue, 10 non-blue? Oh, wait, I thought you said it was... Oh, okay, I misread that. I thought for a second you said there's 12 troops and 10 of them are blue. I misread that. The Blackhawk probably would be one of the better options. I know Merlantis, I believe, is the absolute best as far as blue ratio. The biggest issue with Merlantis, though, is it has Submerge, which you can't use Rowan against. But if we go in quick enough, like, this place has a lot of blue. Like, we'll probably see a triple blue on first battle. Yep, I called it. But yeah, Merlantis has a really high amount of blue. But the liability here is Submerge. And if you get a single Submerge on the enemy, that will delay you by a lot. You might as well just retreat if you get Submerge. If any enemy gets a Submerge on them. So you have to be very, very careful with that. But Merlantis, I believe, does have the best ratio of blue. If I'm not mistaken. So here we got another triple blue. Maybe we'll just do Merlantis and just go there. Yeah, I know Merlantis had the highest. I knew that already. The only issue is Submerge. But if we win quick enough, it might not matter. So let's just do Merlantis. Also, how did he live? Does this place have spell reduction? It might. Normally it should kill. We could always do Explore 2 if we really want to. Not that big a deal to do Explore 3. Main thing right now is that we get them killed. Ever had Scale-Electrics? No. There's a car racing where you build the tracks and have the Formula 1 race cars. Oh wait, maybe I have. That sounds very familiar. Or what the second part does. Scale-Electrics doesn't sound familiar, but the second part of what you said does. So many bunnies. Actually, what are the bunnies even giving us this week? I didn't even double check. Anything good? I hope it's gold. I hope it's gold. Let's see. We'll throw that down. Can Rowan please get full mana? That'd be great. There we go. And dead. Let's see. What's Bunny giving us this week? Really? 50 souls? You've got to be kidding me. Why is it only giving 50 souls? I was expecting gold or glory. Why is it giving souls? Yep, useless 50 souls. That is pitiful, unfortunately. Not only are souls quite a bit less useful than the other resources that Battle Crashers could give, but 50 is not a lot of souls. Soul rates, again, still get to like 40, 50,000 in the current state of the game. Also, he keeps living with exactly 1 HP, which is kind of funny. But also not funny because he delays the battle by a few seconds. If anyone's still any other questions or anything I missed, let me know. I'll make sure to go over them. Because most of the rest of the stream are probably just going to go try getting our blue kill count, which we're halfway there on. And while doing Merlantis, should be pretty quick to get there. As long as we don't get trolled by Submerge. Yeah, because Gold and Glory would be useful. Well, at least we got Vault Event this weekend to make up for it. If nothing else. Vault Event's really good loot. Yeah, Dawnbringer funds. Yeah, if nothing else, it'll help people get Dawnbringer. Not to mention, you will be able to get both the Soul Gnomes this weekend, as well as getting the extra little bit of 50 souls off the Bunny Nogs. Meaning you could probably get a rate of like 15,000 souls per hour without even using a soul farming team this weekend. Which is going to be pretty solid. Even without soul farming, you'd still be getting like 15,000 per hour between Soul Gnomes and Bunny Nogs. Because almost every battle would be giving you 50. And then Soul Gnome could give you 1,000, 2,500, and 5,000 a couple times an hour, if not more. On average, probably like 5 times or so. Assuming you can win at around the same rate that we're doing right now. Once every 15 to 20 seconds. Oh, sorry. Did I not see your comment, Demon? My bad. You managed to get 2 of the 3 mythics today. Wait. 2 of the 3 new mythics today. Wait, 2 of the new mythic today. Oh, is there a better team to run them with than Mountain Crusher Titan with Apothecary? No, I do not believe so that I'm aware of. I do not believe so. Also, I don't think you'd want to use double with that. You'd most likely want a different color damage source so you cover a wider range of color. Otherwise, I believe that's only covering 4 colors, right? It's either 4 or 5. You'd still be missing a color at least. But I'm not sure if she has any viable team with 2. Mostly because her board control isn't that good to be doing twice, necessarily. Because most of the value you would get from it is off the very first time. That's soulless. What do we grab? We'll take that for now. They said it's only 2 times once by accident. That's a fail. However, they have said it to 5 times once. Not on accident for us. That was a really insanely good week for farming. I wish we would get it 5 times again. Maybe to encourage everyone to stay in from coronavirus, they could go do it 5 times again. Someone should go pitch that to them. In order to encourage people to stay inside for coronavirus, they should do a 5 times Gnome event for Easter. We need to go pass that on to Salty this stream. And I'm not even kidding. We need to. Help save lives. Keep people inside playing Gnome event. With 5 times weekend. They've done it once before. But we need to pitch that to Salty tonight. We should totally do that. It probably wouldn't be a thing, but we still need to try pitching it to her. Okay, we'll throw that down. Is it necessary to have Mythics during Guild War in order to win? No. You do not need Mythics to win Guild Wars. However, most meta teams that you would need to win it more consistently in endgame does require Mythics. However, depending on what bracket you're in, you could probably get away with winning every single Guild War with no Mythics. Like the Vine Ishbala Quillen team you can use for yellow. For brown, you can use like a Corvash Gorgoltha. These are all legends, not Mythics. For green, you can use Web Spinner with Leprechaun. For red, you can do Yagwe Queen Titania. For, what color did I miss? These are all legends, not Mythics. So there's plenty of teams that you can use that don't use Mythics. They're not necessarily as strong necessarily always as combinations that do. But in some of those instances they are, like Yagwe Queen Titania for red. What are the 2 colors that I miss? So green is Web Spinner plus Leprechaun. Red is Divine Ishbala Quillen. Yellow is... Oh, sorry. Yellow is Divine Ishbala Quillen. Red is Yagwe Queen Titania. Brown is Gorgoltha Corvash. Why do I feel like I'm missing 2 colors? Blue is... Blue is questionable. And I'm missing one other one. Purple? Yeah, and purple. Blue and purple. I'm not sure what you do for the 2 cheap ones for that. Purple, you could do Glaceon plus something. And that would work okay. I'm trying to think of blue, what's super cheap. You can do like a Zura into something. Trying to think of a good blue that's cheap. That would work for Blue Guild War. I know Blue Guild War is probably one of the harder days just in general. Those all were attack teams, by the way. Yeah, all those are for offensive, not defensive. Those were all attack teams. And they made a Corona Mythic. Flunania. Oh, gosh. Okay, we need 27 more kills. So close, yet so far. And we're slowly working up knights.
I am on my guard.
And dead. Give me the souls. Give us those souls. Thank you. Yeah, so merge actually isn't being that big a deal. Which is being nice. For once. Yeah, we might need to mess with Emerald tier with the Mythic before the end of this week. It seems like it would have potential. Emerald tier plus Mistralis. I almost forgot about Emerald tier. Yeah, it is a 4 times boost ratio off of enchant weapon. And we haven't really had an easy way to set enchant prior to this. There were a few ways, but this is the absolute easiest, obviously. There's a single extra turn off of that. And you get a lot of gem spawn out of it. Maybe relatively potent if you're not blocked on color off a freeze or something. And we'll get that down. Get a Rowan in there. And should only need about 5 more battles or so. So probably the rest of this set. And then we'll get our 100 gems, which we need to go repair those gems. Got to get back to 20,000 plus. So we have to spend on other videos and such. So that we don't actually have to buy any. Actually, I haven't bought anything from... Gosh, other than when I bought the Switch version, like a year ago when it came out last April, like mid-late April, I haven't spent gems on Gems of War, I think, for like 2 or 3 months. Or not gems, but, you know, money, I mean. I mean, not 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 years, I mean. And the last time I spent any money was last year for the Switch version. Just because, just to get it started a little bit better in a new economy. It's quite a bit of fun. We did that for a couple months, then kind of stopped. The biggest issue with the Switch version, which I still hate to this day, is how far behind it is on updates. Like, it is really far behind. Yeah, the main thing you would do with Emerald tier is mostly feed to green so that you can mana generate back. So you can do damage off a green troop. I almost feel like even something like Web Spinner would work pretty well in that. Something that can kind of loop and then get to shuffle off the other thing. Unfortunately, the Mythic does not use green. But it still ends up working out nicely. Wait, Mistralis doesn't use green, right? I don't believe it did. Oh, there's 100 gems. Yeah, Mistralis doesn't use green. I forget her colors. I believe it's blue, yellow, purple, right? Or no, it was the same as Iron Gut. Yeah, she doesn't use green. It's blue, yellow, blue, yellow, brown. But I can still put it up with a Web Spinner in first slot and run like Web Spinner. Actually, let me go save real quick. I want to test that at least once. Yeah, we're probably not going to use Elamagrim tomorrow. I'm not sure. But let's go replace out this. We can easily rebuild the team otherwise. So for this, we need that. We need a class of... no, we don't need Frost Mage. We need Mistralis. We need... Tier. We need a Web Spinner. And we need probably a Leprechaun, I want to say. What are we missing color-wise? We're missing just red. So yeah, we can get away with Leprechaun and just do a minus red banner then. So we'll do that. It also gives us board clear. And then we go, two things we need to go change. One is banner to a minus red. +2 purple, +1 green sounds good. So we'll go with that. Actually, +2 purple, +1 yellow actually sounds better. Or does it? No, green. Because we need Web Spinner getting a little bit extra mana. Okay, anything else we need to do? What's your other effects? Create a green gem on top of the green gems. Let's see. Enchant self, give all green allies 2 mana. Okay. Let's see. So what's the total gem spawn again? That is... I don't think a boost ratio is off itself, so it's 14 gem spawn. I don't think it gets one off itself, even if it is enchanted. It has a weird interaction like that, if I recall correctly. And then we just go for a hero class that would assist this, which I am almost leaning towards Frost Mage, just in case we lose our turn. And we have it set to Elemental, we have it set to Explosion, some Submerge, just in case. Though we could go for extra blue or purple. But yeah, let's go see what this can do. So let's give this a shot. We'll do it up against another Web Spinner team, apparently. Where is Mistralis? That's not what I'm looking for. Where did I put it? Where did I just put the team? Oh yeah, it was under this weird one, Stormcaller class. Let's just call this Tier Mist. There we go. Alright, let's see what this can do. You need the power of Isabel to enter Discord. Have one question in regards to the explosion weapon currently in Soulforge this week. If you do not have it, is it a good idea to craft? It's not an insanely good weapon. Like, it's not useful for anything, but yeah, I would try getting it. It's one of the weapons that you would do to just collect weapons. But overall, it's, I don't know, it's not that big of a necessity to go and get it. But it won't be available for months upon months if you don't get it now. So do be wary of that. However, you might want to wait till Sunday because sometimes they give out codes for festive drops. And that is technically a festive drop, of course. Also, unfortunately, we just lost our Web Spinner there to his Web Spinner, which is a little problematic. There we go. Yeah, it works pretty well. It's definitely not bad, that's for sure. Let's go try it again on something else. Oh, here's Life and Death. If you can win against this, you can win against anything. Yeah, it is advised trying to get all weapons eventually. It's not too big a deal in the current state of the game, but it's a nice thing to work towards. Especially some of the weapons that might actually be viable into the future at some point. Particularly like those double convert weapons and stuff. Okay, so we'll go for this just to do that first so we all have all the chance to get full boost ratio off of it. We'll then go get that. Unfortunately, Web Spinner, you've been really bad at extra turning today. Alright, luckily we got extra turn so we can just Emerald Tier again to go replenish the board. And then we go right back into Web Spinner and hopefully not miss. Throw Mistralis down. Get another Web Spinner in there. Get another Web Spinner in there. Go cast that for some more green. Do it in the Web Spinner again. Do it in the Web Spinner again. Take a skull if we can. Because I'll one-shot him. We got a bunch of enchants, but we need extra turn first, so we'll go for that. Unfortunately missing. Go for this and hopefully get a random skull. Otherwise we cast this or kill him. There we go. And we do triple damage on skull. But yeah, it works. Definitely works. Not sure what team you're referring to specifically with it, but this is one we built and it works. Definitely works. But yeah, I might even mention in the video just because she's still relevant for 4 more days. Or, you know, you can still get her for 4 more days. And I completely forgot Emerald Tier was a weapon. I think I used it with KrissTigger like 3 years ago when that was a thing. But it hasn't been meta for a while. But yeah, with Mistralis, it's pretty decent because it does need a lot of enchants. And Mistralis is really good for enchants. And it completely slipped my mind this weekend about that weapon. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Oh, did I never finish the hellos after analyst at the beginning? My bad. Well, that'd take a while to go say hello to everyone now, but I can go re-hello everyone. We have like 1 billion chats, most of which I probably left. Hello, Bill. Hello, ArmyXTube. Hello, Supplement. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Dinosuit Girl. Hello, Curtis. Hello, Gustavo. Hello, Dotero. Hello, Tyranny. Hello, Not Blizzy. Hello, Scout. Hello, Analyst. Hello, Cinny. Let's see. Hello, hello, Max Willerin. Hello, Chris Border. Hello, Patrick. Hello, at Juro. Hello, Pamela. Hello, hello, Sir Rasma. Hello, Tom. Hello, hello, Joe. Hello, Jonathan. Hello, Original. Hello, Demon Wolf. Hello, Isabel. Hello, another Joe. I think it's a different Joe. Hello, Spins. Hello, Captain. Deltron. Hello, Steve. Hello, Brady Brarts. Let's see. Best Dragon Soul team without Fair Shra. Oh, my bad. I never answered that question. The best Fair Shra team, or best Dragon Soul team with no Fair Shra is Dragon Soul, Azurus, Umbra Wolf, is the team. You can also replace it out for a hero class with Purple Storm instead of the last slot. And you can also replace out the Azuruses with any Necromancy troop if you need something even cheaper. Let's see. Hello, Spins High. Hello, Analyst, if I didn't already say hi. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Drock Savage. Hello, Mobarashi. Let's see. And yeah, that Jar of Ice suggestion actually did work out quite a bit better with that one team. Hello, Chad. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Arv Blades. Hello, Pascal. Hello. Gosh, there's so many hellos that I may have not said hello to. Though we shall do all of them again. Hello, Liz. Hello. Who have we missed at this point? Hello, Dawn. Hello. I think that's almost everyone at this point, unless some more people are saying hello right now who weren't here earlier. All the lurkers lurking behind the shadows. Who have we not said hello to? Who we still have? Hello, Simple. And hello, everyone else who I haven't already said hello to. Where's my mask? Ha ha ha. We're not wearing a mask. We're inside. It doesn't really matter right now. But anyways, we also broke 19,000 gems finally. So now we need another 1,000 from that 100 gem drop that we just got. But anyways, guys, we're going to be heading out for now, even though I just said hello. Now I need to go say goodbye to everyone. Haha. But anyways, we'll be back tomorrow, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, an hour and a half prior to now tomorrow, as we do every single night. We'll have the event video up soon, either tonight or tomorrow morning, either or. Definitely before the Animal Crossing stream. Tomorrow we'll be streaming Animal Crossing, probably starting a little bit closer to noon rather than 10. But we'll be doing Animal Crossing for several hours. Then we'll be back with Gems of War, of course, at the nighttime. And other than that, yeah, that's pretty much the game plan. And we still have a few good things coming in for Easter this week. We still have a pet coming in on Wednesday, as I mentioned earlier. We also have a Friday Volt event. So if you're around this weekend from quarantine, you'll have a lot of time to go do grinding, as it's the best time to grind the game. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for stopping by. Let me go get the link to Salty as well before we actually end up going. But definitely feel free to leave a like on this stream here, as it ends up helping out a lot. But let me go get the link to Salty's stream. I'm not sure exactly what she's going over today, if anything, but she'll be streaming some Gems of War as well. And if nothing else, she'll have a lot more codes. Also, I need to go ask her for more codes because I only have like 5 left. Let me see. Let me go and copy that. Copy. And here you guys go. Here is the link to go over there. But anyways, guys, there you go. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful time. Stay safe out there. And we'll be back tomorrow night. Same time as always. Hour and a half prior to now tomorrow. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all for stopping by. And I will catch you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone.